Let's make Pusser's Rum's Grog Cocktail. Hi, I'm Jared. Welcome to Kill-Divill, where we focus on rum and cocktails. Today we are going to make Pusser's Rum's version of the Grog Cocktail. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. In either case, I hope you enjoy this drink. In my mind, there are three types of grog. The first one is what I call traditional grog, and that is something that may have been drank on the ships in the British Navy from way back in historical times. It is a combination of water, rum, lime juice, and or sugar. Then there's what I call tiki grog, and tiki grog is what tiki bartenders made out of traditional grog in order to make it taste better. And finally, there's what I call trash grog, and that's what you get out of a trash can at a house party when everyone brings their own booze and dumps it into the same container. And Pusser's Rum's Grog Cocktail falls cleanly into the traditional grog category. In fact, if you go on their website, they claim that this is the original recipe, the real thing, that they've been using on the ships since 1740. I do question that history a little bit, however, for two reasons. Number one, this drink is a little bit finicky to make. There's a lot of little steps, and I have trouble imagining that bartenders on Navy ships back in the 1800s, early 1900s, were going to take this amount of time to make one grog for each sailor, or more than one grog for each sailor. And number two, ice. Pusser's Rum's website claims that this recipe was created in has been used since 1740. Ice didn't become broadly available for cocktail use until the mid 1800s. That's about 100 years difference. So while this is a good traditional grog, I have trouble believing that it has a history that Pusser's Rum's gives to it. A note on the rum. If you're going to make Pusser's Rum's Grog Cocktail, you really should be using Pusser's Rum's Blue Label rum. If you want to make this recipe with a different rum, feel free to do so. However, then you're not making Pusser's Rum's Grog Cocktail. To make this drink, we are going to start with our mixing glass, and the recipe calls for half a lime squeezed into the glass. And you may or may not know I'm not a big fan of this sort of measurement because it's not very precise. It's going to be tartar or sweeter depending on how big your limes are. I'll put that right there. Next, we need 1 teaspoon of unrefined dark sugar. I'm going to be using Demerara because I've got some. 1 teaspoon is 5 milliliters. Now I'm going to stir this until the sugar dissolves. I'll be back with you in just a moment. Now that the sugar is dissolved enough, I'm going to add 1 ice cube and 2 ounces of my, take that out for a moment, 2 ounces of my Pusser's Blue Label rum. 2 ounces is 60 milliliters. Now I'm going to stir again until the ice cube is halfway dissolved. Halfway melted, dissolved. I'll be back with you in a moment. Wow, that went much quicker than I expected. I'm going to take my glass. I'm going to fill that with ice, and I'm using an old-fashioned glass. It's grog, it seems old-fashioned-y. Fill the glass with ice. Now, I was told to say on the website to save half the lime to use as a garnish. I'm not going to put half a lime in there. Instead, I'm just going to cut a wheel. The website shows a wedge in their picture too, so who knows? Who knows? Let's do that one. Why am I garnishing before I pour this in there? Who knows? This is the way it came out. But I am going to strain this into the glass. And that's it, the Pusser's Rum's Grog Cocktail. Drink with good spirits. Question of the day. What is your favorite version of grog? It can be traditional, it can be tiki, it can be trash. Let me know in the comments down below. And if it is a trash recipe, let me know what decisions you regretted in the morning. Note that there are ways to support the channel if you're so inclined. I have t-shirts. You can have a t-shirt. If you want a t-shirt, contact me through any of the social media links down below. We'll make sure you get a t-shirt. And while you're there, you might as well follow, subscribe, and do that sort of thing. Finally, if you made it this far, give me a like, give me a subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on anything that I do. And until next time, cheers.